Welcome to Discover Indie Film. I'm Jeff Howard, and I'm sitting here in person with Aaron Bennett. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, how you doing, Jeff?
I'm good. Good to see ya. We just had an excellent conversation. So if you are listening to this episode, dear listener, I believe right now you are listening to episode number 639 of the Discover Indie Film podcast. 639 divided by 3. No, I'll not do one of those crazy OCD things. But if you listen to episode 638, the one before this, you will hear my conversation with Aaron all about where you come from and how you ended up in the film business and what got you into really being a creative, a professional creative. So there you go. You've and all this wonderful stuff you've done, including the film Joker's Wild that was at Sherman Oaks Film Festival just 2 weeks ago for us, but it's a month ago, 5 weeks ago when this comes out.
Yep.
Which Joker's Wild, your film that you wrote and directed and co-produced with some key people.
Yep. Vanessa Lee and Hunter Williams.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Feel free to say their names loud.
Oh, yeah. Vanessa Lee and Hunter G. Williams. Yeah.
There you go. That way I don't...
Yeah.
And by the way, Vanessa is a previous award winner.
She's an alumni.
Festival.
Yeah.
She's an alumni. And the alumni, and she was not on the Filmmakers Board this time. I think every once in a while she's done it. She's probably too busy working with you to do it.
Yeah.
But our alumni jury, which is called the Filmmakers Board, gives out the Filmmakers Award, and you won the Filmmakers Award for Outstanding Director of a Short Horror Film.
Yeah.
For you.
Which is an
and
honor.
then
Thank
your
you.
film, Joker's Wild, also took home the Grand Jury Award for Best Sound Design for a short film. That's not genre related. That's of all the shorts, Best Sound Design.
Yes. Which is amazing.
And now I cannot name the awards, but I'm sure there were some. But you also were involved with Sherman Oaks Film Festival previously when a film you wrote, a short you wrote, called Good Counsel, was in our, I think, probably 2020 festival. And actually, Good Counsel. So anyway,
Best
if you were
supporting
listening to
actress.
this, go to the YouTube. I think most people have heard of YouTube, and search for Joker's Wild. Maybe you have to add the name Aaron Bennett, but I don't know.
Joker's Wild movie. Yep.
Joker's Wild movie. Yeah, that's right. At Joker's Wild movie on YouTube, and watch that film. And if you want to watch the excellent drama, thriller, Good Counsel that Aaron wrote and made with a bunch of friends, you can actually watch that at a little thing called the Discover Indie Film TV series on Amazon Prime Video. There's a whole story there, I didn't even, and now comes the qualification and apology. It actually is 99 cents an episode or $7.99 a season because our view counts climbed high enough that Amazon decided we couldn't be included with Prime.
Oh.
I didn't tell you that. Yeah.
No, I mean, that's
it's
in a way.
Around, we hit 10,000 unique viewers a week.
Wow.
And then after a few months of that, they said, yeah, so you can't be included with Prime now. You have to charge 99 cents an episode, $7.99 a season. And I would say to you, dear listener, $8 for 10 30-minute episodes of all short films. That's not a bad deal.
That's so much content.
It's not a bad deal for $8.
And these are all festival winners,
everyone who logs on to Amazon Prime Video just wants to watch the stuff that's free and included with Prime. But come on, you can see. Plus, you will.
Good Counsel's worth 99
Good
cents.
Counsel is worth 99 cents,
and you get two other
it gets
movies.
Opened up by a music video starring actual squirrels by a filmmaker that he's a bit of a genius. I will just say that this guy's wife was feeding squirrels in their yard so much that they became tame.
Wow.
And then he was able to shoot them with his DSLR, and he used the grass as a green screen. And then he turned them into rock bands and Trump and all kinds of shit. It's the most creative dude ever. And then the middle one, the one might call it the peanut butter in between the slices of bread, is the WAP-edemic. And if you don't know what WAP is, shame on
Google
you.
it.
But
don't
it is
Google
a
it at
film
work.
from a brilliant comedian who lives in South Africa. And I'm so proud of this. She did reverse drag. It's a film. It's all male characters talking about how to cure this epidemic of WAP.
Yeah.
And I love that she did. Like, isn't it a shame that we don't have a term for reverse drag? I mean, is it when a woman dresses as a man and acts as a man?
Yeah.
It's brilliant. She's so funny. I'm like, thank God, because Monty Python did it. Everyone does it. All the sketch comedians do it. So women sketch comedians should play men when they feel like it.
Oh, yeah. We just saw an amazing musical in New York. My girlfriend Janelle and I, who won the best supporting actress for Good Counsel. I haven't strayed too far off topic, but when you talk about people doing reverse drag, it was called Operation Mincemeat. And it's a comedy musical, and it was awesome.
Excellent.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Is that here in LA? Or?
I know it'll go off Broadway, but it's on Broadway.
It's out. It's in New York right now.
In New York. Mm-hmm.
I always have my New Year's resolution is not creative. Every year I say, okay, the goal is 5 live plays, 5 live stage plays, 5 music shows, and 5 museums.
Ooh.
Just because if you don't give yourself these rules, it's really easy to go a whole year without seeing people perform on stage.
Right.
And it's so special.
Right.
It really is. As much as I love film, it's pretty amazing to watch actors on stage in the same room, breathing the same air. So anyway, this was all your introduction to say that people should watch those films, your film that you wrote and directed, and Good Counsel that you wrote and did all kinds of extra work on, because
it was a grip.
you're that kind of person who will help get it done. So there you go. That's all the homework you have to do, dear listeners. Watch Aaron's films and go to his Instagram and everything, and listen to the podcast before this one, because now I'm finally going to come out and say this is a 4 questions episode, which means Aaron will be answering a silly thing I cooked up called the Discovery Indie Film 4 questions, which are: name 3 films that you love, name an underrated film, name an overrated film, and name a lesser-known film that people should seek out. I'm going to get a little personal for a moment and say that this was inspired by my friend James, who was a professional session drummer and just an incredibly talented musician. And his social media for years was just filled with, I'll just say it, he would say, Neil Peart is the most overrated drummer in the history of music. Debate me. And he would always try to start debates with something inflammatory. And I loved his overrated, underrated stuff. And now I will just share that we lost him last month. And so I wanted to acknowledge that. I've mentioned him many times. He had a rough time, but so James, who is a giant, kind man, who actually probably worked the second or third. He would come out and help me. He actually was a gigantic man, the kind that everyone's afraid of. Oh, gentlest teddy bear of a guy. And so he would often work as a bouncer and stuff, because when you're a 6'5" black dude, 6'5", 350, people pay you to stand there and no one makes trouble.
Yeah, you suddenly behave better.
And so I was like, hey, you want to come work Sherman Oaks Film Festival and run the lobby for me? Anyway,
so cool.
So James did that, and he inspired these 4 questions. So this will probably be the only time I mention him.
Rest in peace, James.
And I mention him in front of a man I know who has great empathy. I can see from your eyes. Well, you've had loss in your life, so that is something that I won't even talk about loss. So let's get to your questions.
Yeah, let's do it.
Fuck loss.
I'm ready. Yeah.
Fuck death.
Positive. Positive. Let's do it.
And
let's, in the spirit of James, let's talk some
James
smack.
is drumming for Hendrix right now.
Oh man, can you imagine?
He's probably like hanging out with John Bonham or something. Although his number 1 is actually Keith Moon.
Oh, that's a lot of people's number 1.
Keith Moon, worship Keith Moon. So
I would never have said that Neil Peart is like overrated, but he's phenomenal.
Great drummer.
Yeah,
but
mine would have been John Bonham.
He'd be overrated.
No.
Oh, he'd be your number 1.
That'd be my number 1.
Yeah.
But because I wasn't as big a Rolling Stones fan as I was a Led Zeppelin fan growing up. Yeah.
Well, the musicianship in Zeppelin is like significantly higher than the Stones.
And they elevated each other because they were, Keith Richards is a maniac on the guitar, but these are just riffs. But you look at, what you're getting from Jimmy Page, that's beyond riff. You're getting a virtuoso.
and let's not snooze on Jonesy.
Yeah, that's true.
I often defend the bassist, but anyway.
That's true.
All right.
John Paul Jones.
I don't want to get in trouble because we could probably talk about music now for
No,
too
I know.
long.
No, we're off to the races, and this is supposed to be
And this is
truncated.
We have to be a little disciplined here. So you want to name 3 films? It's intentionally questioned now because I start off with like, name your top 3, and that's too much fucking pressure. And then I just said, so just like share 3 films that you love. It doesn't have to be. We know it's just a sampling of your tastes.
Okay, it's odd. Okay, so Blues Brothers is my all-time favorite movie. It has like I'm a comedian at heart, and writing is easy for me if it's comedy, and it takes more work if it's going to be anything else. And Blues Brothers also introduced me to the blues as a kid. I mean, I knew it existed, but like my love of the people behind the blues, Aretha Franklin, and all of these people came in and did cameos within this movie, and I got to see them. Ray Charles be Ray Charles, and I didn't have MTV or cable or anything, so I wasn't seeing these artists be these artists. I had heard their music, but I never got to put the person next to it in the backdrop of Detroit, Chicago, and that was an amazing thing as a kid. And so I that's one that if I walk into a room and it's being played, I'm going to sit down and watch the rest. And at times will be obnoxious enough to say, can we start it from the beginning?
Well, I'm just gonna add that I have to mention that it's directed by one of my all-time heroes. I know his career went a little controversial, but it was John Landis. And if you have any appreciation for comedy, John Landis has directed some of the greatest comedy ever known to man.
Yeah, and being able to wrangle the cats that are Belushi. I mean, the guy would wander off set if he ran out of cocaine, knock on somebody's door because he was a familiar face from television. He'd go inside and have a nap on somebody's couch. That's how they found him one day. I mean, the stories from that set and just the sheer volume of drugs being done at the time that this movie came out in the 70s was just ridiculous.
And doing an homage to the Keystone Cops with cars. With police cars piling on top of each other. Right. That was Landis.
Yeah.
All right. So
amazing.
Next film.
That's my number 1 favorite movie. And for entirely different reasons, just like visually, storytelling, and the build-up and everything else, I decided the first movie that came to my mind was There Will Be Blood.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm a huge fan of anything he does. Last of the Mohicans. Like for different reasons, every single time he finds something that I don't know. There's acreage there that I wouldn't have expected if I were to read that script, that I would have ever imagined a character that was capable of that. And Bill the Butcher, in Gangs in New York, like he just gets Daniel Day-Lewis just gets something that I'm in awe of. And so, There Will Be Blood. The whole work by that entire cast is just nuts. And it visually a movie too that I just can't fathom that era and how dangerous it would have been to be a leatherneck, putting oil wells in Texas and Oklahoma and New Mexico and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. I watch it and I just feel like I'm there. They fool me into believing that this is something that's actually happening. Like the camera's in the room in that period and I'm seeing something authentic.
It's an amazing film and it's so original and so unique.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of that film. Yeah. Huge. In fact, this ain't about me. All right. What's your third?
My third is Princess Bride.
Nice.
Yeah, my third. That's another one where if I'm not quoting it, I'll hear someone sometimes say a single word and that associates to an entire line from someone. I mean, I defy anyone in a room of 100 people to shout out "inconceivable" and not have 75 people in this room go "inconceivable." And if a single word and it's not just that word, but there are others like insanity, the cliffs of insanity. Yeah, like that movie brings me so much joy, and always has. That when I find, it's one of those that when you find out, someone who hasn't seen it yet because maybe they're in their 20s or 30s, they missed their radar or their parents didn't raise them right. that is a sit down. We're gonna have a movie night. Those don't exist anymore, but like, this is what we're going to do. This is how I was raised. We're going to have a movie night. We're going to watch Princess Bride. Or if someone says, oh, you need to see Hereditary, like, okay, well, we'll sit down and we'll watch Hereditary but we need a palate cleanser. So we're going to watch The Princess Bride because they haven't seen The Princess Bride yet. That's my move. Because I feel like I'm doing a service to humanity every time I show someone Princess Bride, because there is nothing bad in that movie. It is only good, and I only leave that experience feeling better about myself. And I don't think there are a lot of movies out there that like can do that just like take weight off your heart.
There you go. That's in my wife's top 3. All right.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good lady. Don't let her go anywhere.
I would never. I was just realizing that probably the reason she does love me is because I'm an as you wish guy. Anything she has me to do, it's always just, it's just yes. I only say yes. I just realized I'm her Cary Elwes. I don't remember his name in the movie.
No, that's the Dread Pirate Roberts and Farm Boy.
Farm Boy.
He's credited
at that point. He's Farm Boy.
Yeah, Farm Boy.
Farm Boy. Farm Boy said, "As you wish." Yeah. Right? That was what he said.
Yeah.
I got it right.
Yep, you got it right.
Yeah, I have. Okay, so
she'll give you a smooch. You know enough trivia to make her important.
Oh yeah.
Her important movie is important to you.
I've only seen it like 5 or 6 times. She's seen it way more than me.
Yeah.
But we did show it to the kid. We do movie nights.
Yeah.
But now the kid's in college, so it's only horror.
It's only horror. That is the evolution.
She only watches horror. So it's been that way for about 5 years, from age 13 to 18. All right. Man. So question number 2 is a film you feel is underrated.
So I may have even said this last time, but this is a movie that I think made me feel something kind of. It's just an interesting movie, and it was different than and I think it's because it's the visual element of being an ambulance driver, but it's called Bringing Out the Dead. And it's Nicolas Cage of all things. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an ambulance driver. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know. I've seen it more than a dozen times, and it's not a movie that people typically either catch, and if they do, they're certainly not going to put it on a rewatch. But for me, it's just, I think it's underrated because his character goes through this arc of dealing with seeing death and trauma all the time, and he's getting desensitized to it. So you see a character who hasn't reached the point of being jaded. He's not jaded by death yet, and jaded by the trauma of seeing something terrible yet, but he's almost there. And he's almost seen so much trauma that he's unaffected. But you get to see the transition point of when a guy either makes that call to say, like, I'm going to keep doing this, and it's never going to bother me again to see another person OD, and it's never going to bother me again to see another person, bleed out from having a negative birth experience at home or pass out or do these other things. And that touches me, personally. But at the same time, I'm watching a guy who most people frown at as an actor. They just say he makes whatever because he makes whatever. But I think he absolutely carried a performance in that I think is unique. And I think it's underrated because I just don't think enough people will ever see it. And it's a visually stunning movie too. There's a slow motion shot with some sparks going out into the night sky. And it's a darkly funny moment. And it's also traumatizing, where this drug dealer is hanging off of a railing where he fell and he got impaled, and they're trying to cut him off so that they can rescue him. And everyone's saying from this building, they're saying, just let him go, drop him. He's a drug dealer. He's a blight on our building in New York. He's done nothing. and yet he gets saved. And I think that's a great allegory. I think that's meaningful. Like, maybe this guy will turn around and be better because of this terrible thing. And as this guy's losing consciousness, he looks up, which is down for everybody else, but he's looking out and he's seeing all the sparks from the chop saw and the steel that they're trying to cut off, and he's impaled. But they're trying to cut around it so they can remove him and take him to the hospital. And they're seeing this arc of sparks. And I don't know, there's something beautiful about it, and traumatic and meaningful, I guess. Yeah, that's underrated, I think.
I remember liking it a lot when it came out. I saw it in the theaters. I haven't seen it since. All right.
Yeah.
Question number 3, a film you feel is overrated.
This was the hardest one. You gave me the heads up about this too, and I really struggled with this one. I was gonna say probably Pulp Fiction, and it flipped in my timeline, because I believed Pulp Fiction to be a really amazing movie. I've seen dozens and dozens of times, but I think I'm probably confusing the word overrated with overplayed or oversaturated. That might be the thing.
Maybe, but no, but it's fair. But overrated doesn't mean it's not a great film.
People say peak cinema.
Yeah.
And I just feel that there are other cinematic experiences that make me feel something. And I feel like when I watch Pulp Fiction, I'm laughing because the lines are funny. It's well written. It is brilliant. And it was unique for the time, especially. And I didn't think anyone was doing anything like that at the time. But I think if people reach back and say, like, because that movie's been added to like the lexicon. It's in the American Historical Museum. Like that movie transcends pop culture. Do I recommend it to people? If I met someone who has never watched it, I would say go watch Princess Bride. Because Princess Bride will make you actually feel something. It'll help you have a moral trajectory if you're a kid.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a brilliant film, and I love it. But if someone asked me if they were going to watch one Tarantino film, that wouldn't be the one I'd tell them to watch.
That's a fabulous answer. Well, just out of curiosity.
Which of his?
Which of his? Yeah, would you say is
probably Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah.
But Reservoir Dogs is special as hell.
Yeah, it is. And
Reservoir Dogs might be, but Inglourious Bastards is, I think, just a greater. It's better in every way for me.
I think the actors brought more in Reservoir Dogs than they have in any other Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
Jackie Brown. I think there's some tremendous stuff happening in Jackie Brown. I think
they're all great.
They're all great.
Most are great.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But if you have to compare,
none of our stinker. But yeah, I wouldn't say that. Yeah. In fact, so now I'll tell you that, like, sometimes if people ask me for my overrated, I'm a huge Coen Brothers fan. But No Country for Old Men beat There Will Be Blood for Best Picture. And No Country for Old Men is not even in my top 5 of Coen films. Therefore, I consider it a brilliant film that's overrated because it won them Best Picture and Miller's Crossing didn't. So fuck it. So anyway.
Oh, that's interesting.
One question left.
For all the tea.
Yeah. Yes. No, well, this is a lesser known film for people to seek out.
Which I say twofold, like go see Bringing Out the Dead, but we've already talked about it. So the Machinist.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody has seen this movie, and it's weird because so many people that are Christian Bale fans are just you can't recognize him. He's unrecognizable in this movie because he lost so much weight, skeletal. Honestly, for no reason, to be very honest, but like, okay, that is a feat of humanity to live on tuna juice and water and to have a doctor follow you around because you're trying not to make your organs actively shut down is how much weight he lost. He was skeletal. There's no other word for it. Unrecognizable, skeletal. So, okay, so you went all in on this performance. Hats off. But also the story I thought was great. I did not see the twist coming. And I think it's one worth finding. But to me, I was going to throw a curveball at you, though. because it's not out yet, and I don't think it counts but I think it's coming, and I got a chance to screen it as an test audience person. I know I signed all of the things, but I'm not going to give away plot or anything. But I just want to say that like Maggie Gyllenhaal's new Frankenstein movie that's coming out is not like anything Christian Bale's ever done, and it's the lead actress in it is going to get an award. She will get an award.
Maggie Gyllenhaal directed?
Maggie Gyllenhaal wrote and directed it.
Nice.
And Jake Gyllenhaal is in it just as Garnish. He's not the
I hold her in very high esteem.
She's tremendous.
Yeah, she is tremendous. She's so talented.
There's some Sofia Coppola brilliance going on, but the thing is, I think Maggie Gyllenhaal can act her ass off, and I don't think that was always true about Sofia Coppola. But I think Sofia Coppola can direct like a son of a gun. That's my personal opinion.
I don't think she considers herself an actress.
No.
I think she's almost embarrassed that Dad put her in Godfather
3.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because she didn't try and make a career of it, but she stayed within film.
Yeah.
Which I think is tremendous.
Well, and why not get overpaid to have fun?
Right.
Based on your last name. That was a little negative of me. I apologize.
Yeah, no, every now and then.
But I mean, when your parents own a farm, the odds are you're going to end up being a farmer.
Yeah. You're going to be surrounded by it. You're going to be tempered in it. Why are you not going to take a swing at it? And it was probably a hell of a lot of fun. And
please, it's all fun.
It's take your daughter to work day.
It's pretty fun to write out an 8-page idea and then get Bill Murray to make it happen.
Right.
What can I say?
Yeah.
It's just really nice.
Yeah.
And we have great movies thanks to that. Although I will always throw a little shade, but then I just have to say that I guess maybe I'm a first film guy, but Virgin Suicides is incredible, and she did a great job adapting that and directing it.
No, I think she's a tremendous
she's the real
storyteller.
deal. She's the real deal. Yeah,
she earned it, but I think she was definitely surrounded by the quality filmmaker. You're at the table listening to. I mean, if it's not your dad, it's your dad's friends, but you're around people. You can just say, what would you do if? Hey, can you read this? Is this any good? Can I go to work and watch you direct? I mean, like, come on. You're in the room, to have no takeaway, which I'm sure there are a lot of Nepo brats that have had no creative takeaway, and they're of parents that have tremendous talent. I think is a shame, but she is definitely not one of those. But Maggie Gyllenhaal, if that movie were already out, that would be my lesser known one that people should seek out. I can't wait for people to see it, and I can't wait for people to talk about it.
But it might be big enough that everyone will know about it.
I think so.
I hope so.
I hope the movie that I got to see that was in development as a person in the audience and a test screening audience, I hope the movie that I got to see makes it they don't chop it up and they don't take a whole bunch of weird stuff out.
I will close this podcast by sharing that as a native Angelino, third generation, by the way, in high school, right, when you were hanging out in the malls in the 80s in LA, you got invited to a lot of test screenings.
Yeah.
And we would go, and I can't tell you how many films got ruined in between the test screening. I don't know what the other people were filling out on those pieces of paper.
Right.
But so many films I were like, oh, this is great. And I would drag all my friends to see it when it came out. And then they'd cut the shit out of it and it wasn't good anymore.
Right.
And like, how do they take something good and make it bad? And the answer is, in that test screening, there was a bunch of...
I don't get it.
Yeah. Just a bunch of people saying, dumb it down.
Yeah, dumb it down, make it popular. That's the
I
problem.
have to admit, I have to tell you some trivia.
Culture.
There was an Aykroyd Belushi script that, of course, didn't get made, and it went to John Candy and Eugene Levy. And it was called Armed and Dangerous.
Armed and Dangerous. Oh, yeah.
And the test screening was one of the funniest films I ever saw.
Yeah.
And they went in porn shops and played with dildos. All this hilarious throughout the film. And then the film came out, and it was terrible. Oh. And then all the humor, all the jokes were taken out. Anything moderately offensive was taken out. And it just made them look like unfunny dudes. And I'm like, oh, if the world knew how funny they were.
There was never a director's cut. That wasn't really a thing back then, was it?
Not only that, but I don't think it was. You don't get a director's cut from a middling comedy that whatever at the time probably cost 1/5 of an action movie and made 1/17. Like it's just
you hope there's some Criterion Collection release of the original Armed. And
oddly enough, my friend has played golf with Eugene Levy somewhere sometimes. It'd be hilarious if I ever ran into this person and said, I just want to say I was at the test screening of Armed and Dangerous, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't say that. I would pussy out.
I think you would have to break the ice that way.
Well, when after I sign off, I'm supposed to tell you a story about that short Lokia, and and then I'll tell you about John Landis' story, and there we go. But now I'm going to get us out of here by saying, all right, thank you for listening to the Discovering the Film podcast, listeners. Thank you, Aaron, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody should go onto YouTube and watch Joker is Wild, at Joker's Wild Movie on YouTube. On Instagram and TikTok, it's at Joker's Wild Movie. And if you're on Instagram, go to Aaron Wright Stuff. All those things I just said will be clickable links in the show notes, as will discoveryindiefilm.com. That's where you can learn all about this podcast and the Amazon Prime TV series born out of it, where you can actually see the film Aaron wrote, Good Counsel, in Season 7, Episode 1. And on social media, it's always at DIFWins. So that was discoveryindiefilm.com. If you go to discoveryindiefilm.org, that is the nonprofit, the Discovery Indie Film Foundation. Where did all these names come from? From my ass. So if you go to discoveryindiefilm.org, that's where you can learn all about 2 film festivals. I always say 2 film festivals in the LA area. I think in the previous podcast we did, I didn't mention that they're both in the top 100 best reviewed worldwide out of 14,000.
For a reason.
A little proud to have 2 of the top 100 best reviewed with 14,000 in the world. So check out discoveryindiefilm.org. That's where you can find out more about Sherman Oaks Film Festival that we hold every December. Film Invasion Los Angeles that we hold every June. And on the day, it's over now. This podcast is coming out Monday, January 19th, I believe. 18th. 19th. And Friday and Saturday, January 16th and 17th in Lima, Peru, we launched Film Invasion Lima in Peru.
Epic.
I figured out how to very inexpensively get Spanish subtitles on some of these for the filmmakers, because they're like, I can't put Spanish subtitles on, and thankfully there's a little tool built into the film festival's very expensive Vimeo account. I don't want to say how much we spend a year on Vimeo, but we kind of have to host everything that we put up there with all the Q&As and everything. So thankfully that came with free auto transcription and translation. I was able to translate Karina Wolf, the producer of this podcast. Years ago, made a wonderful short film comedy called Lou. It only cost me $1 to get the Spanish.
Karina, congratulations.
And you know what? I was such a good guy. I said, this is on me.
You're a sweetheart, Jeff.
she thanked me, and I'm like, dude, it was just $1. All right, so Aaron, thank you again.
Thank you, Jeff.
And thank you, everyone, for listening.